In this video, I'll show you music producers how I make a full song like MONTAGEM XONADA. You'll see exactly how I handle sound selection, melodies, and song structure to create a track like this. I'm Dogeda, music dog with millions of streams across many platforms, and in this studio session, I'll be breaking it all down for you. So grab your computer, open your DAW, and let's get started.
Yes, sir.
Here are the 10 important sounds that I used in the track. I start with two Ableton stock pianos, one handling the chords, and another handling the bass, this synth chord that I made in Serum 2, synth layer sound, this bounce plug that will be used for the main melody, plug bass, 808, acid bass, the kick, and the kick reverse. Some of the sounds I have are made using Serum 2, like the bounce melody was made using two oscillators with custom wavetables I've made. I have this LFO which is assigned to the fine tune, which is then controlled using a macro knob to create this pitch bend effect. It may be hard to hear it, but when I increase the decay, it's more pronounced. Another sound is this acid bass, which I use the acid wavetable, then use an envelope to automate the wavetable position and the filter to create this wompy sound. These sounds may seem a bit complex to you, so I made this sample vault collection called Bagunsa. There are 9 complete sample packs that cover all the sounds you need to make funk. So if you don't want to waste time sound designing or browsing through sounds you don't have, start leveling up your song by going to dogedastudio.com. Link in descriptions. Before I make the track, I'll be breaking down the chord progression in MONTAGEM XONADA. Here is the chord progression. The song is set in the key of F sharp minor and is using an interrupted cadence. We have the dominant chord C sharp major, which naturally wants to resolve to the tonic F sharp minor, but it's interrupted by the sub-median chord D major in first inversion. The piano chords also play this Brazilian funk rhythm, where the chords are on the 1, 4, 3, 3, and 1 across the grid. I usually describe this rhythm as a boom cha cha, boom cha. The bass line plays a slight variation of the pattern. While the top melody adds to the chords. And this progression repeats over and over. This is what gives MONTAGEM XONADA that dance feel vibe. Now in my song, I use the same scale but a different chord progression. This is an imperfect, authentic cadence. The dominant chord C sharp 7 naturally wants to resolve to the tonic F sharp minor. However, I use the F sharp minor 9th chord, which gives the quality a lack of finality. And then the tonic moves to the median chord, A major. So the chord progression gives the sense of an ongoing loop. This is also the same when the progression repeats again, but now the A major chord is replaced with an A sharp diminished chord. Chords playing that Brazilian funk pattern to give it that bounce. But the bass plays a walking bass line. And the melody I made is drawn out to aid the chords. If you're finding this video very helpful, make sure you hit that subscribe button for more breakdown videos like this. Here's a short section of my song No Limite. Listen carefully on how I utilize my sounds to create this track. So I started off with a simple down to the floor kick pattern. And I have this reverse kick to emphasize the transition after every 4 measures. The chords are built around this kick, and you can easily hear that pumping vibe with just the piano alone. The synth chords layer along with the piano chords. And I have these 3 bass sounds layered along with the piano bass. And of course the bounce melody. Now to get that pumping feel you hear in the track, I use this plugin called Shaperbox. I'm using this plugin to sidechain it to the kick. Now I will be going over my entire song No Limite. There are 10 sections in this song, so you don't want to miss this. Starting off with the intro verse section. The bounce pluck and the piano bass start the track. Later, the kick is introduced along with the piano chords. The track starts to build up, creating this anticipation of a drop coming in. Now the drop happens. I'm going to take a little pause here because I want to go back to showcase the vocals. In the intro verse section, I have this whoa playing in the background and the main vocal. I then have the same vocal appear in the drop, but I cut the vocals to create this vocal chop melody. Now let's hear the track with the vocals in context. Now in the chorus section, the arrangement is the same as in the drop, with the only difference being in the vocal group. Now verse 2 comes in. It starts off similar as the intro verse section, but now the pianos has a slightly adjusted rhythm. Drop 2 happens and we have a completely different vibe. I'll pause the track for a little bit because I want to go over the melody. The main melody is now being played by this rat lead sound that I made. All I'm using is an altered square wave table which gives it that slidey tone. I also added more ad-libs in the background to create more movement in the song. Then these funny ad-lib transitions and chorus 2. Chorus 2 is pretty much the same as chorus 1, just with that added tambourine now. Verse 3 comes in, same as the intro verse and verse 2, but now I have this top piano playing a jazz melody. Riders come in to build anticipation. Now we take a break and slowly build up. So I'm going to take another pause on this track to show you producers what's creating that washout effect you are hearing. So I built this custom washout effect rack in Ableton using an EQ as a low pass filter, a grain delay to create these octave glitchy textures, another delay to add width, a reverb where the width knob is being automated, and OTT to maintain gain on this entire signal chain. Drop 4 hits and it's a completely different song. I wanted to change the genre at this part, so I decided to go with hardstyle. You can hear that hardstyle kick being the main focus of the drop. I also added the subtle kick to add some low end. I have this Reese bass and sub bass playing together. A new melody. Piano chords and the synth playing in the background. And I also use the same melody from drop 2 but with new sounds in drop 4. And here is the final drop and outro. That's it. Again, all the sounds come straight from my sample vault collection Bagunsa. No need to sound design or browse through thousands of folders to find one sound. Start leveling up your song by going to dogedastudio.com. You can listen to my song No Limite clicking on this video here or watch my latest breakdown video right here.